And welcome back here to the Lead-Deadwood High School gym for game number 2 of our doubleheader tonight. The Spearfish boys are 8-3 overall on the season, 4-1 in the Black Hills Conference as they square off with the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers, who are 6-8 on the season and getting ready for this Black Hills Conference second game of our doubleheader tonight with a lift foundation, with conversations with the coaches coming up next.
Collision Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
For KDSJ Local Sports, Clayson Davis reporting here with our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip-off, here to help lay the foundation to this matchup, brought to you by Heiselden Concrete. I'm now joined by head coach of the Spearfish Spartans, Coach Ben Schultz. Again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So before we lay the foundation into Lead-Deadwood, let's talk about that game last week versus Rapid City Central. It was a barn burner, but you guys came out with the win versus a Class AA opponent, and a hot one at that, versus the Cobblers. What was your team able to do to come out of that game with a win?
Yeah, we wanted a big emphasis in points in the paint that second half. I felt like we had an advantage on the block that we didn't utilize enough in the first half. Limiting Gilbert, getting paint touches. Our game plan was to bring a lot of gaps with Gilbert and force him into a shooter passer, and I don't think we did that the first half. So, but it was nice adjustments from the boys the second half to execute the game script and come out with a W.
How big is the confidence booster for your team to not only win a close game that seems to be escaping your guys' grasp the past few times this season, and also to limit a dangerous scorer like Gilbert White Jr. towards the ending of the game?
Yeah, in the last couple games that we've had really close ones, we've fallen short against Harrisburg, against STM. So it's nice to see those execution pieces show up against a good team and being able to finish games. So that was a nice confidence boost for our boys. And then, Gilbert, I don't think we did a great job limiting him. He had 26. I know the fourth quarter, he ran out of gas, and we brought a lot of gaps on the help side and just forced him to get the ball out of his hands. And it was nice to see them being able to execute that deep, and also to hit some free throws at the end to help seal it.
How is your team doing injury-wise after that Rapid City Central game?
We're good. Yeah, we're healthy. It was a tough week with illness for our squad, and we're happy to come out of it 1-1 for that week.
Now looking at the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers, a Class A Black Hills Conference opponent, 5-8 on the season this year. They have scored a lot of points this season, also allowed a lot of points this season, scoring around 58.7 points per game, allowing 62 points per game on average. What do you see from the Golddiggers from this year's team that you can take advantage of?
Yeah, I think our guard play is superior. We're going to try to bring some ball pressure in the full court and get them playing from 35, 40 feet, and just try to make them very uncomfortable on film. When teams pressure them, they tend to make mistakes. So we're going to try to exploit that. And I also think we have an advantage on the block. So getting the ball inside, having some inside-out offense can really benefit us.
And finally, Coach, what are some of your other keys to a win versus the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers?
Yeah, the glass has been a huge emphasis for us this season. There's not many games you can lose the glass and come out with a victory, so we want to make sure that we dominate in that category, or at least win the glass. So making sure that we limited them to one shot of possession is always going to be a major game key for us.
Awesome. Well, that's all I got, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As that's head coach Ben Schultz of the Spearfish Spartans, and we'll have more of our pregame show after this break. For KDSJ Local Sports, Clayson Davis reporting, and I am joined by Lead-Deadwood boys head coach Dan Jansen, who joins us before the Spearfish Spartans take on the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers tonight in Lead. Anyways, Coach Jansen, thank you for joining KDSJ Sports.
Thanks for the invite.
So your team is 6-8 on the season. They had a 4-game skid in the middle of the season, but you've won 2 out of your last 3. Talk about what the team has done to right the ship here as we start to turn into the last corner of the season.
Well, we really started to lock down defensively a little bit better. Offensively, all season we were able to score enough, but we're just struggling to keep teams, from getting above 50. The goal is always for us to score 60 and for them to score 50. And we really struggled defensively to hold teams down. And the last couple of weeks, we really done a lot better job keeping people out of the paint, forcing bad shots, and getting the rebounds when they put it up. As
you look at the final stretch of this regular season, Coach, you got some tough games on your schedule tonight versus a Class AA opponent in Spearfish. You got number 3 Rapid City Christian coming up as well as a really tough Custer team. What do you want to see from your team in the final few weeks of the regular season to lead them into the regional tournament?
Just competition. The things they've been doing all year where their effort keeps them in every game. We're never out of it. They fight, and just give themselves a chance to win it at the end. I think that's about as much as you can hope for when you got teams like we're about to face. You're right. I mean, this is a meat grinder of the schedule here. So, yeah, we've got to be able to work hard enough to keep ourselves in these games, lock them down defensively, score enough offensively, and just give ourselves a chance that we're there in the fourth quarter.
As you guys have got 6 wins on the season this year so far, it's already the most wins that Lead-Deadwood boys basketball program has had since 2019 and 2020. Talk about accomplishing that feat to break that 4-win barrier that the Golddiggers have been escaping the past few years.
Right? Yeah, we've been on a bit of a dry spell there, like you just described. But, we're trying to do a little bit more of a culture shift here where the kids are getting in the gym more on their own, not so much coach-led, not so much structured, but really the athletes leading athletes in the mornings and in off-season workouts. And I think that, our summer program was a big step forward for us this year. We had a good participation. We had a good summer, pretty successful traveling to the different tournaments. And I think that really carried over for us, that there was that kind of buy-in in the summer with the student-led portion of our workout.
Talk about your team injury and health-wise as you go into tonight's matchup.
We've been super fortunate with the injuries this year. Now, I don't have any wood in front of me, but you should knock on some wood. I know there's been a lot of teams struggled with key players being down and out. But injury-wise, we've done really well this year, probably for the first year in a lot of years. And then, illness-wise, right now, the flu is going around. So we've got some players who are trying to tough it out and fight through some personal illness. Hopefully we can maintain that, especially for these next 2 weeks. Like you said, when we hit in the meat grinder here, we got to stay healthy and stay strong.
As you look at the Spearfish Spartans tonight, Coach, what do they do well on film that you'll need to prepare for, and what aspects of their game do you feel like you can take advantage of?
They're very patient offensively. They're a well-coached team who runs a good offense, and they wait for the right look. So it's going to be important that, they're willing to hold that ball for 30 seconds offensively to get the right look. We got to be willing to put in the effort it takes to stop a team from scoring for 35 seconds. That's a difficult thing in basketball, to play defense for that long. And Spearfish will be very disciplined about running their offensive actions. So got to do that. And if we can play defense on them like that, if we can stop their key scorers, they've got 3 people who kind of lead that team. That if we can make somebody else step up and try to hurt us, I think we've got a good chance of hanging with these guys tonight.
And finally, Coach, what are some of your other keys to a win tonight versus Spearfish?
Probably us being able to score. Spearfish held St. Thomas More into the low 40s. A good defensive team. I mean, you've got to be able to score on Spearfish. And I think they kind of pride themselves on stopping the ball and controlling the pace of a game. So we've got to be able to get out in transition and score a little bit on Spearfish.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach. That's all I got, and good luck in tonight's matchup.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate your time.
For KDSJ Local Sports, Clayson Davis reporting, and I am joined by Lead-Deadwood boys head coach Dan Jansen, who joins us before the Spearfish Spartans For KDSJ Local Sports, Clayson Davis reporting here with our
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
And back to you at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth this evening. The second game of our doubleheader tonight between the Spearfish Spartans and the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers. Spearfish comes in 8-3 overall, 4-1 in the Black Hills Conference as they square off against Class A Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers, who are 6-8 and 2-4. Let's have a starting lineup. First for the visitors. Hey, it's our Spartan insider, Clayson Davis, over at KDSJ-TV.
Yeah, starting for the Spartans, number 0, Cameron Davis. He's a junior guard at 6 feet tall. Number 2, Cameron Davis, is a 6'2 guard, a junior. Number 12 is Haroon Khan, one of the 2 seniors for the Spartans. He is a guard at 6 feet tall, wearing number 12. Cade Vavruska is a sophomore guard at 6'3", and then the big man in the middle, that's Cooper Gibbs, a 6'4" forward.
And the Spartans under head coach Ben Schultz, we heard from him in the pregame show. And for the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers, they'll go with the Wichterman boys as well as Ethan Finn. Also getting the start will be number 22, their point guard Blake Jensen. And also getting the start tonight will be number 12, Cannon Rogers, a junior guard. And it's going to be Spearfish or Lead-Deadwood winning the tip. They go inside, a pass from Ethan Finn to Cannon Rogers. And Rogers catches the pass and lays it up and in as the Golddiggers score on their first possession of the game, as our countdown to tip-off was being brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair. The Spearfish Spartans answer back with a 3-ball with Haroon Khan from downtown, giving the Spartans the quick lead, now 3-2, as we continue playing the first minute of this boys varsity game.
Yeah, both teams coming out firing. Lead-Deadwood got Spearfish confused underneath with some mix-ups on man-to-man defense. And then on the other side, it was Haroon Khan getting the 3-point ball, and now Bo Wichterman comes up empty on a possession for Lead-Deadwood. Spearfish see if they can take advantage with Cade Vavruska outside to Cameron Davis through the middle of the lane. Finger roll, no good. So both teams trade buckets and trade empty possessions their second time with the ball.
The Spartans wearing the road maroon uniforms with Spearfish across the front and white numbers on the front and back. Maroon jerseys, maroon shorts. They'll go left to right on your radio dial and across KDSJ-TV. Here's Ben Wichterman in no man's land. It looked like he caught the ball and wondering what to do with it. Everybody in the stand said, turn around and shoot. And that he did, and he made the layup in the paint, as it's now 4-3, our second lead change of the game, as we got started just on time there at about 7:45. Underneath, Cooper Gibbs, he's been playing better throughout the season. He misses that bunny in the paint. He'll have another chance along during the game, I bet. Here's Jensen, goes over to Ben Wichterman. Wichterman doesn't dribble, finds it over to Ethan Finn. Ethan dribbles a little bit back, being guarded there by Cameron Davis. Now inside to Bo Wichterman. Bo pump fakes, puts up the shot off the glass, is good. Bo Wichterman, he's going to have to be a stud tonight to go up against the Spearfish Spartan powers. And right now it's 6-3 Golddiggers off to a good start. We'll see how they can keep it up, as again, we heard from Coach Dan Jensen of Lead-Deadwood how Spearfish likes to use some of that clock. Well, they have not been doing that. They've been shooting it real quick here, as another missed layup, back-to-back misses in the paint for the Spartans.
Yeah, right now Lead-Deadwood, they are playing their style of basketball, fast and aggressive, as Bo Wichterman, he's gotten a few mismatches already. He's got another one with Haroon Khan, who's stripped right away over to Cade Vavruska.
And up ahead, Vavruska takes all the way into the paint, and he'll be fouled. We'll have our first foul of the game with 5:15 left to play here in the first quarter, as the Spartans down 6-3 in the early going, but Vavruska will go to the free throw line. As again, our countdown to tip-off at our pregame show, our in-between shows here of this doubleheader, brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair, as we come to you from the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth, seeing Cade Vavruska make the first of 2 free throws.
Yeah, Spearfish, they want to take the game to Lead-Deadwood, both offensively and defensively. But right now, it's been the Golddiggers that's been taking the game to Spearfish with their fast-paced play and physicality on the inside.
Second free throw is good by Vevruska, the sophomore for Spearfish. And we heard from both coaches in the pregame show, so thanks to Heiser Lane Concrete, you can get the hold of them at 605-210-2320 as we laid the foundation. Now Lead-Deadwood dribbling to the far corner, almost in the coffin corner, and they do lose the basketball. Good job of getting into the passing lane. Then up ahead, Bennett Corton uses his speed, gets it down the floor and lays it up and in for two. And just like that, the Spartans on a little bit of a run, and they're now up 7-6. And a foul underneath. This will be on Spearfish defensively. Cannon Rogers is at the free throw line. I guess he was in the process of shooting.
They're going to catch Haroon Khan for his first foul. Again, no Dylan Dorn this game. He's out with a sickness. That flu bug still flying around the Spearfish school system. So Dylan Dorn out for this contest as Rogers misses his first free throw. So we'll see who steps up as far as a defensive presence for the Spartans with a number one in maroon and silver out.
Second free throw is good by Cannon Rogers, so he has 3 points. Again, your Dana Dentoart starting lineup for Spartans, including Corton, Davis, Kahn, Vevruska, and Gibbs. And it's saved there by Cameron Davis, but then it's eventually stolen away by Lead-Deadwood as they went with Bo Wichterman, Ben Wichterman, Cannon Rogers, Blake Jansen, and Ethan Finn. Three-pointer no good by Bo Wichterman. Again, the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers not nearly the bench as Spearfish has in this one too, so depth will be a factor. And the jump shot is no good by Haroon Khan. We talked about it in the pregame show. If Spearfish is cold shooting, that's the only way I think Lead-Deadwood has a chance in this one to answer back, as they've had some games in the 70s this year. Here's Blake Jansen, goes over to Ethan Finn. That was a new 35-second shot clock after that missed shot. Here is Jansen. Jansen dribbles one time, now hands it off to Ethan Finn. Finn around the perimeter, now into the paint. He loses it, it's stripped away. Good defense there by Spearfish. Up ahead to Cameron Davis, and he lays it up and in with a finger roll. 2 points for Cameron Davis. Spearfish Spartans now up by 2, 9-7.
As now Spearfish, they're starting to use the pace against Lead-Deadwood, but there's a floater by Bo Wichterman, no good. Ben Wichterman, though, with the putback, ties the game up at 9 apiece.
Ben has 4 points, Bo has 2 points, and Rogers has 2 points for the Spearfish Spartans as they get back on defense in a 9-9 game. I think they're 1 point off on the scoreboard. I think it should still be 9-8 in favor of Spearfish, but Lead-Deadwood fans are not going to say a word. As I have Rogers for 2 free throws, 4 points for Wichterman, 2 points for Bo Wichterman. Cooper Gibbs at the free throw line, and that one no good.
The free throw line has also been a problem for Spearfish this season, as well as Ben Wichterman takes a seat, and Brady Ranapaw will replace him for Lead-Deadwood. Meanwhile, for the Spartans, Mason Southern and Tucker Olson, a pair of sophomore guards, come in to replace Haroon Khan and Cade Vavruska.
Both free throws missed by Gibbs. So here is Finn with it for Lead-Deadwood in the home white uniforms with Diggers across the front in cursive maroon. Three-pointer is no good by Rogers. He knew that as soon as he let it fly, but he couldn't get there in time for the box out and the offensive rebound. Open three-pointer in the far corner. That's going to be off the rim by Tucker Olson. So here comes Rogers. He'll get it to Finn. Finn with a game winner earlier this year. Ethan Finn with a layup late in the game with a couple of seconds left to defeat Belfouche in a game here at the Lead-Deadwood High School gym that we were fortunate enough to have. You can look back on any of the archived games and all the highlights, KDSJ-980.com website, and then that will give you the links to our YouTube and Facebook pages. KDSJ-TV with every Spartan game so far. On the girls' side anyway, we missed a couple with the boys that we had to go with the B squad, and I did those 2 games. The layup is missed by Rogers. The physicality is in favor of Spearfish as they get down the floor and lay it up and in for 2 for Cooper Gibbs.
Yeah, right now Spearfish just running the floor on Lead-Deadwood. Lead-Deadwood, they're the ones who are being methodical on offense, while Spearfish, they're just trying to take it to Lead-Deadwood on the other side, as both teams are kind of alternating styles. And right now, Lead-Deadwood dominating the boards with Bo Wichterman with a putback after the 3rd offensive rebound for Lead-Deadwood, tying this one up at 11.
1:30 left to play, first quarter. Underneath, too far underneath was Corton, so he'll go back outside. They'll reset the offense and get guys moving around. Corton motions to Cooper Gibbs to catch that ball inside, but he misses it. Taken away here by Cannon Rogers. Rogers gets into the lane, back outside. Here is Bo Wichterman. Wichterman keeping that ball up in the air as the big man does. Now goes to Ethan Finn. Ethan motions for everybody to move around. I have no idea what they're doing. Hopefully they do. As he's looking for a screen, nobody there. Over to Wichterman with 10 to go on the shot clock. He goes trying to go to the baseline. Good defense there by Davis. He shoots above Cameron Davis, no good. And then it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Spearfish as they got the weak side rebound, and then it just went off their chest. Ashar Hanja is into the game for the Spearfish Spartans, and the Golddiggers will make a couple changes as well.
Yeah, they got a host of Golddiggers into the game now, including Cooper Hansen, Blake Jansen, Enzo Stone all enter the game.
Stone, a good 3-point shooter for the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers. I think he is just a freshman.
Also into the game for Lead-Deadwood, that's Garrett Ranapaw.
2 Ranapaws, 1 Jansen, and a Partridge and a Pear Tree. And we have Stone to inbound it here for Lead-Deadwood. 43 seconds left to play here in the first. And with the shot clock going off, they could not get the shot to go. And then a layup is good by Spearfish's Southern. Nice strip of the ball there by Southern. And the Spartans now have 6 different guys into the scoring column. Here's Jansen out to Hansen. That last possession for Lead-Deadwood was bad, as they inbounded it with about 1 second left and couldn't get the shot off. Now we have the physical nature of the Spearfish Spartans. They're going to let him play. Ball is loose on the floor, and 2 points, or actually now 3 points for a takedown. And that ball is bounced past, intended for a Spartan, and it goes out of bounds. And it will, we're going to discuss this, says the 2 officials. And they're going to move the ball over, and it'll be Lead-Deadwood inbounding it. And we have our same officials that we did in the girls' game. So they're all doing double duty this evening. Here is Blake Jansen. Here's a steal by Spearfish. They're putting on that full-court press. They put the shot up right before the horn. It's no good. And the Spartans will take a 2-point lead into the second quarter. Spearfish got physical in that last 90 seconds and caused a lot of problems for Lead-Deadwood. But we have just a 2-point game, 13-11 on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. We'll be back in 1 minute for more right here on KDSJ Sports.
No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superioroutosd.com.
Welcome back to the Lead-Deadwood High School gym here in the mile-high city of Lead. On this wintry night, we're glad to be indoors as the Spearfish Spartans make the road trip up here for a doubleheader. They took care of business in the girls' game as Spearfish won it 70-11. And here in the boys' game, we're just getting into the second quarter of play, where it's now 14-11 as the first free throw is made there by Spearfish's Tucker Olson. We had a foul called 8 seconds into this second quarter. Olson makes both free throws as the foul was called on the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers. And then we have an offensive foul, or did the ball go out of bounds just in front of us here?
I believe the ball went out of bounds as
I was looking down at my roster and stats. Let's see, it's Southern, Davis, Hodges,
Olson, and Hughes. Thomas Hughes just checked into the game for the first time.
That's for the Spearfish Spartans. We have Blake Jansen as well as Cannon Rogers, Bo and Ben Wichterman, and Ethan Finn. That's your starting five for Lead-Deadwood back out there. Outside three-pointer by Southern is good. Leave him open. He'll crank it up and hit it. Actually, that was Hughes just coming in.
Yeah, Thomas Hughes with the tray, and yeah, this aggressive man defense by Spearfish. It's getting Lead-Deadwood flustered a little bit on offense. They thought they've had a few reach-in calls, but the refs are letting them be physical.
They were in the last 90 seconds of that quarter. And then Hodges gets into the scoring column here with an easy two in the paint for the Spartans. Spearfish putting on the pressure full court. Blake Jensen, the point guard for Lead-Deadwood, gets it across half court, down by 9. A minute gone by here in the second quarter. He gets rid of it, goes over to Cannon Rogers. That was some tough defense being played there by the Spartans. A bounce pass for Lead-Deadwood goes out of bounds, and the wheels are starting to shake now. And the Spearfish has them right where they want them, both offensively and defensively. Spearfish's defense has really cranked it up and letting them get some points in transition. We've had some three-pointers. Hughes hit one just a little bit ago. And now with the basketball is Olson. Got a few of the reserves out there playing. Here's the three-pointer by number 10. Southern is no good. Offensive rebound by Vavruska. Now he goes baseline, and we're going to have away from the ball foul, and it's going to be on Spearfish.
I believe Ashar Hodge is caught with the offensive foul on the screen, as he was setting that screen for a bit there, and eventually they call Hodges with the offensive foul. Now Spearfish with some full court man defense.
Here's Ethan Finn with the basketball. There's been a lid on that rim for a while for Lead-Deadwood as they try to shake things off here. Down by 9, 20-11. They hung right with Spearfish for about 6.5 minutes of that first quarter, and then it's gone south. Layup is missed by Bo Wichterman, rebounded by Hodges. He'll bounce past it, and Spearfish is ready to send it down the floor in a hurry. They lay it up and in for two. As a nice handoff to Cade Vavruska as he gets the start tonight and has 5 points now.
Give it a 9-0 run for Spearfish to start this second quarter. Lead-Deadwood has yet to make a basket.
Here is a three-pointer. It's good by Finn, I believe.
Yep, Ethan Finn with the three. Right when I say they haven't been able to get a bucket. And then on the other side, a block by both Wichterman boys coming in on Mason Southern.
Spearfish comes into this game 8-3 overall after a win at Rapid City Central last Thursday, 61-57. They had to earn that one down the stretch, and they get a 4-point victory. I think Central had a chance to tie it, but the ball went over the backboard and out of bounds, and then Spearfish got the couple free throws to make it a 4-point game. So it could have been tied there late. Here's Vavruska's three, no good. 9 games left for Spearfish, so right here at about the midway point of the season for them. A busy February coming up. Blocked by Vavruska, rebounded by Hodges. Outlet over here to Southern. Southern trying to get control of the basketball. He's a backup point guard. Now passes inside to Hodges. Hodges lays it up, left it short, rebounded by the Spartans. Three-pointer on the way, no good by Hughes. Another opportunity as it's tipped back to Cade Vavruska and a new 35-second shot clock. 8-point lead for Spearfish. Here is Vavruska just playing and toiling with the defense as he puts up the shot and in for two.
And then on the other side, Tucker Olson about had the steal. And Olson still on the ground. I think he's slow to get up. Might have felt that one going for the steal. But ball will stay with Lead-Deadwood. It's currently an 11-3 run in this fourth quarter. Spearfish outscoring Lead-Deadwood.
Press is on by Spearfish. Now they lay off of it. No trap, but Ethan Finn will have to work every dribble here across half court. And a foul call on Corton here at half court. As we say thanks to some more of our sponsors, including Granite Automotive over in Rapid City. Thanks to Fisher Sand and Gravel, Pillon Optical in Rapid, and Powder River Energy. Spearfish keeping that tight defense as here's Bo Wichterman. Looks around to some teammates. Maybe somebody will get open. There's Ranapah. Ranapah with the back to the basket. Now gets it off to Jansen. Jansen isolates. Gets it to Wichterman. Almost 3 seconds in the paint. They haven't called anything yet, but they will call a foul on Spearfish. So 24-14, Spartans with a 10-point lead halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, that's Bo Wichterman doing Bo Wichterman things down underneath the bucket. Even if he doesn't quite have a shot underneath in the post, he will create something, move his body around using his length and athleticism to move his torso into ways where he can finally get to the bucket, and he does right there. Doesn't quite get to the bucket to go, but he goes to the line for two and makes both of his free throws.
Golddiggers have won 2 out of their last 3 games, beating Moorcroft and Hot Springs with a loss at Douglas, sandwiched there in between, losing to the Patriots last Thursday 66-59. Here is Southern, not going to take the three for the moment. He passes it over to Vavruska, goes baseline. Nice block there by Blake Jensen, and it's still Spartans ball with 11 to go on the shot clock. Three-pointer no good. Tipped it back out. Here is Cameron Davis. Davis almost traveled, puts up the shot, and they're going to get the count, the bucket, and one. Almost traveled there, but the high dribble, he drew some contact defensively and was still able to get the shot to go. Nice job there by Cameron Davis.
Yeah, Davis able to get the putback in the and one for Spearfish. Again, close to being a travel, but kept the pivot foot, and that's enough for Coach Jansen to call a full timeout.
That foul was on number 33 for Lead-Deadwood. That was Brady Ranapah picking up his first second team foul on the Golddiggers. As we go over some more details of the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers season, they started off losing at home to Harding County 64-60. That big post player for the Harding County Ranchers was a big part of that. Also, Lead-Deadwood learned about the new flopping call in that game. Then they went to the state line shootout. Got a win over Newcastle. They lost to Sundance. They lost a close one to Dupree, a pretty good class. I think they're B. They might be Class A. But Dupree is 11-4 in the season. They played them pretty close over at the Corn Palace at the Hoop City Classic during the Christmas break. They defeated Cadoke area. They beat New Underwood by 12. They beat Belle-Fourche in a close one. We had it right here on KDSJ Sports. Did that one go into overtime?
It did not. It was at the 1 second mark when Ethan Finn got the win for Lead-Deadwood.
Then they lost to Hill City down at Ginn's Gym by 18 points. They got blown out by Wall, 91-54. Don't know what happened there. They lose to St. Thomas More by 34. They lost to Sturgis by 22. Then they defeated Moorcroft, putting up 79 points. And then a couple days later, they lose to Douglas. A couple days later, they defeat Hot Springs. So up and down, and that's how you get a 6 and 8 mark on the season. As Wichterman dribbling out of trouble here on the near side. He just keeps dribbling, maybe dribbling too much. Not enough passing or shooting. Here is Ethan Finn with it. Goes outside. Here's Ranapah for three. No good. Rebounded by Jansen. He didn't have it for long as the Spartans take it away.
And then Finn takes it away, and a big block on the other side by Cameron Davis.
He said, not around this location of the paint. Get that out of here. Last year, these two teams played down in Spearfish, and I went back into the archives. Spearfish won 69-42. The standout player was Bennett Corton a year ago. He had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, if you remember that from last year. Three-pointer by Jansen, no good, did not follow his shot, and not getting back, and Gibbs lays it up and in. No, he missed it. At the last second, Jansen went up and hit the backboard. Maybe that caused him to miss the layup. Three-pointer is good by Brady Ranapah. He doesn't shoot very many of those, but Brady hits the three there, gets the crowd on their feet here at the Lead-Deadwood High School gym. 2-3 made by Lead-Deadwood. Here's another block by the Golddiggers. They've been doing pretty well at the rim. Blake Jansen, he's got some hops, as well as the Wichterman boys. Here's Ranapah, goes over to Finn. 27-19. Spearfish up by 8. Back on defense. Here's Wichterman. Loses the basketball. Cameron Davis. And he will hand it off. They had a 3-on-1 going. And it was a little dish off there for the bucket for the Spearfish Spartans. Now here is Ranapah. Ranapah went across the timeline, then back across, and that is over and back. So a violation on the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers. Also last year, pretty good performances in this game with Seth Hamilton. He had 19 points. Dylan Doran had a dozen points. Dylan is not playing tonight, and Seth has graduated. Lead-Deadwood was 3 of 16 from behind the arc last year, and that was a big reason why they lost. Cameron Davis scores. He has 7. 9 different players have scored for Spearfish.
And on the other side, I believe that was Cannon Rogers with the layup.
31-21. Both of these teams want to try to get to that 70-point plateau. Your best chance to win. Bennett Corton goes in, lays it up. Took a Golddigger defender, threw him to the ground, no call, and then up over Wichterman for the bucket.
Yeah, the law on the court is allowing them to play. Both teams play extremely physical, and it's really that's what both teams like to do, and right now Spearfish is making the most of it.
Up ahead, here is Cannon Rogers. Lays it up too far underneath the basket when he put that one up, and it'll be a jump ball. Rogers had it in mid-air and then kind of was wondering if he should put it up or come down with it, and he is too far underneath the basket. But the Golddiggers still get it back with the possession arrow here. They look over at the scores table. It points to the Diggers, down by 12. Under a minute left to play in the first half. Wichterman puts up the shot. Nice inbounds play to go to Bo. 33-23, 10-point lead here for the Spartans. If you're the Golddiggers, you want to get this down to about 6. Up ahead to Bo Wichterman, and he lays it up and in for 2. Good defensive play there by his brother, Ben. The twin brothers, seniors for Lead-Deadwood, they really bring the spark and get the fans on their feet. Here are the Spartans now with 8 to go. Down to 7, down to 6. Here's the floater, no good by Kahn, puts it back up. Block from behind by Ben Wichterman. They are letting them play, and we have a kind of a block party here in this second quarter. 1.1 second left. Spearfish inbounds it. Here's the three-pointer by Kahn, and no good. And that's the end of the first half of play. It is an 8-point lead for the Spearfish Spartans, 33-25. We'll tell you what the differences have been in the first half for both of these teams, as well as your first half stats when we come back for the Wolf's Plumbing and Heating halftime show. Thanks for joining us tonight here on KDSJ Radio at 980 AM, online at KDSJ980.com. We're also there with the KDSJ Sports mobile app, and tonight you can watch the game for free through KDSJ-TV on our YouTube channel and Facebook Live. We'll chat about the first half when we come back in 2 minutes on KDSJ Sports.
Make eating better, easy with Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish. Just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean you can't eat better. Made-to-order smoothies, wraps, sandwiches, and flatbreads that instantly boost your mood, all with delivery available. Plus, check out all the different flavors of smoothie bowls, salads, and even breakfast items. Located off I-90, exit 14 on Platinum Drive, just down the hill from the Holiday Inn. Eat well, live well at Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish.
Quality food at a fair price. That's what you expect, and that's what you'll get at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or to grab a bite to eat before or after the game. Choose from daily specials, and a trip to the fresh soup and salad bar is always a hit. Plus, the Millstone can accommodate larger groups, like buses or your next meeting in their private party room. So, if it's just you and a friend or the whole team, get a great meal at a great price. The Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish.
American Colloid, a minerals technologies company, is not only part of the community we live in, they are the community. Bentonite clay, mined right here in our own backyard near Belfouche in Colony, Wyoming, provides a contributing factor to this area's economic success. This unique product has a huge range of uses, from the main component in cat litter to health and beauty products, pharmaceuticals, and more. It's all produced right here in all of our community. American Colloid Company, working together, winning together.
And welcome back here to the Lead-Deadwood High School gym on this Tuesday night of Black Hills Conference Hoops. We are in the boys' game at halftime, where the Spartans lead the Golddiggers right now 33-25 on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Earlier tonight, Spearfish girls won 70-11. We were tied at 11-11 in this contest, and then Spearfish went on a little bit of a run, and then it got physical there throughout the second quarter. Took some time for Lead-Deadwood to adjust, but they finally did, and hit a couple buckets there at the end of the second quarter to make it an 8-point game here at halftime. 33-25 is your halftime score in favor of the Spearfish Spartans. So an 8-point lead, and some of the administrators are going to get pied here at halftime for the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers. We see the elementary principal is out there, the superintendent is out there, the Lead-Deadwood AD is out there, and now the school resource officer for Lead-Deadwood will have her pick of a student to pie these administrators and make their day. This is the second game of our doubleheader, and it's the Wolf's Plumbing and Heating halftime show. We send it over to Clayson Davis. He is our KDSJ Spartan Insider this year. He's been doing every game for girls and boys basketball so far this winter. So your thoughts not only on the Spartans, but the Class A Golddiggers keeping it an 8-point game heading into the locker room.
This game is about as physical as you could get, as both teams are wanting to run the floor. Spearfish, they're kind of known to be more methodical more than anything on offense, but right now they're the ones who are taking it to Lead-Deadwood, running the floor on the Golddiggers, multiple layups and points in the paint. And on the other side, Lead-Deadwood, they're the ones that are having to be methodical and kind of grind out their points and try to find an open opportunity on offense. Bo Wichterman's been doing a good part of that as well. I believe he leads Lead-Deadwood in scoring. But both teams want to be very physical at the first quarter. The Spearfish got underway fast and physical, and Lead-Deadwood, like I said, was slow as it was 13-11 after the end of the first. Second quarter, Spearfish jumped out to an 11-3 run to start the second quarter. That's when Lead-Deadwood, they really started to get going offensively as the Lead-Deadwood AD gets pied right in the face. You can see that on KDSJ-TV. That already doesn't give you another reason to sign up already. And also looking at the second half, both teams really getting almost chippy underneath the basket as well, as again, rebounds have come at a premium, multiple blocks have happened for both teams. And right now it's just going to depend on what team can take advantage of the physicality and kind of the leeway that the refs are allowing them to play with here in this first half. As we hit halftime, 6 minutes to go on the board as, again, some Lead-Deadwood officials get pied in the face. Coming up on KDSJ-TV this weekend, we will be in Huron and Mitchell for some games on KDSJ Radio and KDSJ-TV in Huron on Friday as the Spartans girls and boys basketball teams take on the Huron Tigers. And then Saturday, TV only, will be in the Corn Palace in Mitchell as the Spearfish Spartans take on the ranked Mitchell Colonels. Again, girls and boys action there as well. Also on KDSJ Radio on Thursday, we have Black Hills State University basketball as the Colorado State University Pueblo Thunderwolves make their way to the Donald D. Young Center in Spearfish as we got college basketball on the radio waves with the women's games start at 5 o'clock. Men's games start at 7. Again, that's on KDSJ 980, hopefully 103.5 FM and KDSJ980.com as well as the mobile app.
I'm back, baby.
He is back, folks.
Let's see. Let's have a look at your first half numbers.
Sweet, I can play some highlights while we're doing it.
That was more challenging than it probably should have been to put together these halftime stats. But these are unofficial, so go with what it is.
We won't be too hard on you.
Thank you. 9 players scored for Spearfish. That's why it took so long.
Oh.
Spearfish get all those guys in the scoring column, but nobody into double figures. It's just sharing the basketball. Let's see, 7 points from Cameron Davis. He started tonight. 7 points from Kate Vavruska. He started tonight. And then let's see, we had 2 points from Corton. That was a nice layup that he had up over Wichterman that had to go for the block. 2 points from Southern. There was 3 points from Haroon Khan on a made three-pointer. Thomas Hughes, he made a three-pointer. I thought it was Southern, but it was actually Hughes that made the three. 2 points from Olsen on free throws. 2 points from Gibbs in the paint. I want to see more Cooper Gibbs in the second half. And Hodges with 2 points as he came in off the bench. So give or take some numbers, we have 33 points on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, and that's what we're going with for the Spearfish Spartans as they made 2 3-pointers. I thought they would make a lot more tonight, but we're not done. We're only halfway through. 1 3-pointer was made by Kahn. The other one was made by Hughes. Spartans made 4 free throws. Let's see. It was Lead-Deadwood scoring 11 points in the first quarter. Then it took them a while to score in the second quarter. They did. They had to adjust to the physicality. And then they said, well, we're just going to be physical as well. They got away with some things. And they did get outscored in the second quarter, 20-14. But they're in it down by 8 here at halftime. I always say that third quarter is just terrible for Lead-Deadwood. We'll see what happens, though, in this one. 10 points for Bo Wichterman. A lot of those in the paint because he did not make a three-pointer. 4 points from Ben Wichterman. Rogers with 5 points. Finn with 3 points. Brady Ranapaw with 3 points. I don't keep track of assists, rebounds, turnovers, all that. So just points. Lead-Deadwood made 2 3-pointers, one by Finn, another one by Ranapaw, and they made 3 free throws. They find themselves down by 8 at halftime, 33-25 against the Class AA Spearfish Spartans. Just 2 games this week for the Lead-Deadwood boys. They will not go to Dupree on Thursday because they already played them at the Corn Palace during the Christmas break. They will make the road trip down to Pine Ridge to take on Red Cloud on Saturday. It's time now to have our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. of other action going on tonight in the Black Hills Conference, as well as around West River. And since Spearfish plays in Class AA, we'll check up on that division. As earlier tonight in girls hoops, Spearfish got the win 70-11 over Lead-Deadwood, with Callie Reiner as our player of the game. And now here's Clayson Davis with more from the scoreboard.
Quickly looking at the girls' scores, Belle-Fourche, they took care of Sturgis Brown tonight, 43-34. Douglas lost to Custer in girls basketball, 42-35. And now going over to the boys' side. In Class AA basketball, St. Thomas More, a 3-point win over Sturgis tonight, 43-40. Number 5, Washington over Brookings, 79-49. Brookings Bobcats boys are 0-12 on the season. Pierre with a 2-point win over Yankton. Yankton, they're only 2-11, but they're a pretty stout boys basketball team in Class AA. Lincoln over Watertown, 76-50. It's Mitchell over Sioux Falls Jefferson, 66-49. Huron just getting ranked in the top 5, and they lost to Roosevelt by 2, 60-58. It was Harrisburg over Marshall, Minnesota, 71-62. In Class A basketball, is there anything else that we care about? Not really. In Class B, Dupree and Timberlake, it's the Tigers over Timberlake, 29-25. And the Kadoka area over Bennett County, 45-39. And that's it from the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. And I believe that's it for halftime.
A tale of the tape coming into tonight. Spearfish 8-3 in the season. Lead-Deadwood 6-8. Spearfish 3-0 on the road. Lead-Deadwood 3-2 at home. And Spearfish is 6-0 against teams that have losing records. Lead-Deadwood is 2-4 against teams that have winning records. And winning this game right now is the Spearfish Spartans, as Haroon Khan makes a layup. He now has 5 points. A 10-point lead now for Spearfish as we get into the third quarter. Jansen down to Ben Wichterman. Wichterman back outside Cannon Rogers. Three-pointer will be off the mark. And I think he got fouled on the three-pointer attempt, or maybe it was after.
I believe they're going to catch Haroon Khan after. So it will be on the floor. So no 3 shots awarded to Lead-Deadwood. But Haroon Khan picks up his second foul.
Also, Lead-Deadwood averages 58 points per game. Spearfish averages 56 points per game. But Lead-Deadwood, the big difference, they give up 61 points per game, while Spearfish gives up 45 points per game. So that's about a 15-point differential. We have a 10-point differential right now, 35-25, in favor of the Class AA Spartans. Here's Bo Wichterman, has the ball loose, and then a push. And it's going to be called on Spearfish. So they're getting aggressive and getting physical again here in the third quarter as we recognize our game officials and our referees. It's time to introduce those. Well, we introduced them earlier because it's the same 3 guys that did the girls' game. Alex Schoof, Andrew Ellingson, and Shane Gottlieb are the officials for this game. It is our Law on the Court, being brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Thank you to the referees for doing double duty tonight. They had some changes in the referees at about 2:30 this afternoon. Here is the shot by Ethan Finn, does not hit the rim. And then we're going to have a push on Spearfish underneath. That is going to be their 3rd team foul in 1 minute and 12 seconds of this third quarter. So this is the time of game where you have to adjust to how the officials are calling this if you're Spearfish. Here's Bo Wichterman, and he travels with it. Our high school hoops coverage being brought to you by A&J Screen Printing and Park Bench Apparel. Also thanks to Butte County Equipment and by Butte Electric. Let's send it on over to our Spartan insider, Clayson Davis, with some more of the play-by-play tonight.
Thank you, Cody. As both teams now having to kind of adjust to the change of pace as a turnover by Spearfish. Gets the ball over to Cannon Rogers, guarded by Cade Vavruska in the man defense as Rogers through the lane, spins back out. Over to Ethan Finn, reset the play. He has Haroon Khan's attention. Cannon Rogers back in the corner. Spearfish switching on defense, and then we got a tie-up, and we got a jump ball with the possession arrow headed to Lead-Deadwood. Mason Southern will enter in the game, the sophomore guard for Spearfish. I believe he has 2 points after the end of the first half. Comes in to replace Cooper Gibbs. Still a 10-point lead with 6:09 left to go into the third quarter. Ethan Finn to throw in for Lead-Deadwood. Here's Jansen, top the corner into the other corner. Here's Ethan Finn, three-pointer, nothing but the bottom of the net for Lead-Deadwood. It's the first bucket for Lead-Deadwood this quarter. It's now 28-35. Meanwhile, Ben Wichterman tried going for a steal on Cameron Davis. Blocked by Ben Wichterman, and Ben Wichterman with the rebound. Again, the block party for Lead-Deadwood continues as Ben Wichterman being the rim protector for the Golddiggers. Cannon Rogers through the lane, spins, shot up no good. Bo Wichterman with a rebound. He wants to get something underneath and finally goes up and is fouled by, believe they're going to catch Cameron Davis, as right now the board and the glass being dominated by the Golddiggers, and I think Spearfish is taking note because into the game for the Spartans is a big number 33, Ashar Hodges, the 6'5" center for Spearfish.
That is the fourth team foul on Spearfish this quarter, none on Lead-Deadwood. So one more foul on Spearfish, and Lead-Deadwood will be shooting 2 at the charity stripe. Well, Haroon Khan goes out, and Hodges will come back in. You're going to have to earn any rebounds that you get against him, as Bo Wichterman will make 1 out of 2 free throws.
See what Lead-Deadwood can do and how they guard Ashar Hodges. But right underneath, Bennett Corton was left by himself. He gets an easy layup as Lead-Deadwood switched almost too many times on defense, and Bennett Corton was all by himself to order a sandwich and a water bottle to get the layup. Then on the other side, Ashar Hodges gobbles up that ball and is getting pretty much mauled on the ground by Cannon Rogers. That almost looked like a wrestling match with extremely unfair weight classes. But timeout by Spearfish with 5:02 left to go in the third quarter. It's a 30-second timeout. Cody, what do you want to do?
Let's take a break and hear from one of our sponsors on KDSJ Sports.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
I'm Cody Oliver along with Clayson Davis over at KDSJ-TV. This is the second game of our doubleheader tonight. Spartans are up by 8, 37-29. Golddiggers are hanging around. Here's Clayson Davis.
Thank you, Cody. And again, a steal from that Spartan possession is Bo Wichterman. He's been handsy on the Spartans all night, as now he'll get the ball inside the paint. This is where he does most of his damage. Fadeaway through the floater. Good by Bo Wichterman. And now here come the Golddiggers, as now they get back to within 6. Here's a corner 3 by Cade Vavruska. Back iron, no good. Battle for the rebound, eventually controlled by Bennett Corton, jumping over Ethan Finn. Now Mason Southern makes a move through the lane, gets it swatted away by Finn, gets it back and swatted away, and not without a foul by Ethan Finn, as both teams, again, going back and forth, driving through the lane. Ethan Finn had a few steals, and this one was not quite legal. It's only the first team foul on Lead-Deadwood. 4 team fouls for Spearfish. And now Mason Southern to throw into the corner to Cameron Davis. He'll then drive through the lane, back out, Corton will reset the offense. Here's a corner by Mason Southern. Nope, back out, elbow 3. Cade Vavruska, bottom of the net, good for Cade Vavruska, his first three-pointer of the night, and now Spearfish pushes the lead back out to 9. Ethan Finn, handoff to Brady Ranapaw. He's got a three-pointer in the game as well. Not quite who you expect to let her fly from behind the arc. And now here's Bo Wichterman inside the lane. Floater, up, back iron, no good, and a rebound by Ashar Hodges. Now Mason Southern through the lane, back out. Bennett Corton, top the key, three-pointer, good. And now Spearfish starting to heat up from outside. 6-0 run for Spearfish in as many possessions with Cannon Rogers. Stops the drive, hands off to Ranapaw. Ranapaw, three-pointer, back iron, no good. Rebound, Bennett Corton, one and done for Lead-Deadwood. Now Spearfish, they'll push the pace. In the corner, Cameron Davis, three-pointer. When it rains, it pours for Spearfish. Corner three by Cameron Davis. Timeout by Dan Jansen and the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers. Give it a 9-0 run for Spearfish the past three possessions. Three-pointers galore for the Spartans, and that pushes the lead out to 46-31 in favor of the Spartans.
You may have seen Steph Curry do the little bye-bye, nighty-night after those 3 threes. You can say that for the Spearfish Spartans as they're now up by 15 points, and that might have just done it because they got hot real quick, and Lead-Deadwood has had no answer. 46-31, a 15-point lead now again for the Spearfish Spartans as they look for win number 9, getting back-to-back wins hopefully before they head out to the road trip to Huron and Mitchell this weekend against 2 good teams, a couple of the top 10 teams in the state in Class AA on the road. And that's not going to be easy this weekend for the boys, but hopefully they can build up some confidence, get Dylan Doran back this weekend maybe, because he is out tonight for Spearfish as we have under 3 minutes left to play. Third quarter, here's Clayson Davis.
Also mind you to get both girls and boys Spartan teams healthy, as again there's been that flu virus that's been floating around the northern Black Hills. As we got a deflection and a steal by Corton. Corton steps through the lane and gets the bucket. Points in the paint for Spearfish has been pretty much the whole offense minus those 3 threes that happened moments ago. It's now 48-31. Now let's see what Lead-Deadwood can do on offense. Here's Ethan Finn through the lane, too strong off the glass. Rebound controlled by Cameron Davis. And now Davis off to the track meet. Davis goes up, blocked, and is fouled. And I believe they're going to catch either Ethan Finn or they're going to catch Cooper Hansen, the 6'3" junior forward for Lead-Deadwood. They will catch Hansen for his first foul. Hansen getting more playing time for the Golddiggers as the year goes through for Lead-Deadwood. Of course, the Golddiggers not a very deep bench, and again, with most of their production being senior-led, they want to get some of your underclassmen and returners some game experience this year, so they're not learning how to drink out of a fire hose come next season.
You talked about it in the pregame show with the second-year head coach for the Golddiggers, Dan Jansen, how this is the first time since 2019 that the Golddiggers have had 6 wins on a season. They had 6 wins that year, so if they somehow over the next couple weeks can get another W, they'll have their best year in like 6 or 7 seasons.
I believe the last time they went over 6 wins was when they hit 7 wins, and that was the year previously, the 2018-2019 season. It's been 4 wins, 3 wins, 1 win, 2 wins ever since. As now here's Stone over to Bo Wichterman in the corner. He's been cold lately, and a lot of it's due to the ball pressure by Spearfish as the ball's knocked out of his hands but rolls out of bounds. So now Bo Wichterman will throw the ball in play with 1:50 left to go in the third quarter. Spearfish with a 19-point lead. Jansen, three-pointer by himself off the rim, no good. Ben Wichterman with the rebound. End zone Stone, the freshman. Here's Bo Wichterman from 3. That also hits back iron. And Cade Vavruska with the rebound. Seems like both teams are about as opposite of styles as they've normally been this season. Lead-Deadwood's more the shoot the 3 ball and go fast on offense. Meanwhile, Spearfish is more the grind it out, look for opportunities. And right now it's been the polar opposite. Spearfish has been running the floor and shooting the ball very well. Meanwhile, Lead-Deadwood, they have been having to drive through the lane and get buckets like we saw from Bo Wichterman right there, just able to maneuver his way through the lane to get 2 points. Spearfish with Mason Southern goes into the corner with Cade Vavruska. Three-pointer. Well, the three-pointers have not stopped for Spearfish. Here's another one by Cade Vavruska. That's good. It's now a 20-point lead. 53-33 Spearfish off to, I believe, their biggest lead of the night. Meanwhile, here's Jansen, three-pointer, front iron, no good. However hot Spearfish has been from behind the arc, Lead-Deadwood's about the complete polar opposite. Colder than an igloo in the wintertime. Meanwhile, Bo Wichterman, underhand layup, no good. He gets his own rebound, doesn't get the putback, and will head to the line for two. Bo Wichterman, how many points does Mr. Wichterman have, Mr. Oliver?
By my stats, he would have 15 right now.
So pretty much half of the Golddiggers production has come from number one and white and maroon. Make that 16 points after he nails the first free throw. Few substitutions for Spearfish as Ashar Hodges takes a seat, as well as Cameron Davis. Thomas Hughes and Cooper Gibbs comes in to replace them. Wichterman goes 2 for 2 from behind the charity stripe, and now it's a 35-53 contest with 20 seconds left to go. For the first time in the past hour, there's someone walking across the half-court line. That's Mason Southern setting up the offense for Spearfish.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Here's a deep three by Mason Southern, no good. Rebound eventually controlled by End Zone Stone, who puts all of his 120-pound body into that shot and doesn't quite hit the rim, and that ends the third quarter here in Lead-Deadwood as the Golddiggers fall behind Spearfish 53-35 at the end of the third.
And again, it was tied up at 11 points in that first quarter. Lead-Deadwood hung around there for a little bit, getting it down to about 7 or 8 points at times. But now in the third quarter, Spearfish outscores Lead-Deadwood by 20-10 margin to make it 53-35 after 3. We have your fourth quarter coming up next in 1 minute here on KDSJ Sports.
Beef Logic, Inc. is proud to sponsor South Dakota's high school and collegiate athletes this season as they work alongside their partners at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council to deliver the Build Your Base Sports Nutrition Program at local high schools and colleges around the state and the country. Are you looking for a simple, easy-to-follow program that can help you and your family optimize performance both on and off the field of play? Check out buildyourbase.org and learn why beef continues to be the premier protein for athletic performance and recovery.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
And back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth as we get into the fourth quarter. Spearfish outscored Lead-Deadwood 20-10 in that third quarter to extend their lead as they now have the advantage 55-35 on the Junix scoreboard as we send it back to Clayson Davis over at KDSJ-TV as he runs the camera and does play-by-play. Good luck.
Well, see what I can do. Cade Vervuska, three-pointers no good. Thomas Hughes with the rebound and quickly throws that over to Mason Southern, who throws that back to Ethan Finn. But fourth quarter got underway with a Cooper Gibbs bucket and then a foul on either Thomas Hughes or Bennett Corton. They're going to catch Corton with a foul. But Cooper Gibbs with an early bucket, and that's it so far with the 1 minute that has passed here in the fourth quarter. 55-35, 20-point lead. Here's Bo Wichterman with a long two, no good. Rebound controlled by Spearfish, and Bo Wichterman gets the rebound stolen away from him by Mason Southern. So now let's see what Spearfish can do on offense. Here's a corner three by Bennett Corton. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound, Thomas Hughes. He goes up strong over Bo Wichterman and gets the bucket. It's Thomas Hughes, the athletic sophomore. Played quarterback, running back, wide receiver Pretty sure he also filled up water bottles and warmed up kicks for Spearfish in the football season. Also getting some playing time with the winter season as well. Meanwhile, Lead-Deadwood on offense with Wichterman. That's Bo Wichterman. Haven't seen much of Ben Wichterman. No, he's out there now. Ethan Finn, three-pointer. He nails the tray. See if that can spark some momentum for the Golddiggers, as that's the first bucket for Lead-Deadwood this quarter. First three for the Golddiggers as well in as many moments. Here's Cooper Gibbs on the inside, makes a move, back out, swing over to the corner. Thomas Hughes goes baseline and wants to dump it off to Gibbs, but there was 4 Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers there to steal that pass. Bo Wichterman, he has Thomas Hughes on him. He'll throw up a jumper from the free throw line, no good. Mason Southern with the rebound. Into the corner, the Vavruska. Vavruska gets a trap. Now Thomas Hughes with a 10-foot jumper, good. And Thomas Hughes with back-to-back buckets. And then Ethan Finn forces a pass straight to Cade Vavruska. Now Hughes through the lane, splits through the double team, and misses everything on the layup. Might have been a little too fancy. Now we're just pretty much running conditioning drills at this point. End zone Stone, after getting a lob from baseline to baseline, nails a three-pointer, and now it's only an 18-point lead for the Spartans.
I never liked conditioning drills.
I never did too.
I'm liking these treats and cupcakes that are here tonight.
Yeah. Did you sign up for the silent auction?
No.
I didn't either.
I was going to put down about $110 on the old Cheyenne Crossing carrot cake, and we can't leave this broadcast booth brought to you by Monument Health, and so we'll never know if we would have got outbid, and then they want our money later on. Go start the bus for the girls team for the Spearfish Spartans as they hit the exits. 4:20 left to go here in the fourth quarter of an 18-point lead for Spearfish.
I believe the buses were warm at the end of the third quarter for the girls. It is cold out there, so I don't mind them starting them that early. I wish someone would do that to my car. As Bennett Corton in the corner. Your pickup too. I don't want to be unthoughtful. Pass through the entire defense goes to Corton. Doesn't get it. Put back by Cooper Gibbs is good, and he gets the foul.
And we want to say thanks to more of our sponsors making KDSJ sports and basketball coverage possible here on this Tuesday night. Grand Electric. Also, speaking of getting the electricity going and keeping the lights on, also thanks to Granite Automotive over in Rapid City, as it is a 20-point lead for the Spartans. Back to the line, Coop.
Gibbs, again, has been just getting better and better as the season goes on. He was first the third or fourth player off the bench. Now he's starting for the Spartans as he takes a seat. Ashar Hodges will replace him. Also into the game for Lead-Deadwood, that's Brady Ranapaw, as Bo Wichterman gets his first break since halftime. Ranapaw in the middle of the lane, strong off the glass, no good. And anytime Ashar Hodges gets in the game, rebounds are a lot more challenging for the other team. Meanwhile, on the other side, Cameron Davis through the lane, outside, Thomas Hughes wants to go inside to Hodges. Hodges throws it to the corner. Davis, step back, thought about the three, didn't quite have it. Now Spearfish will reset the offense with about 3:20 left to go in the game. Again, Spearfish, they'll be on the road and heading east this weekend. KDSJ Sports will be with them as they'll head to Huron and head to Mitchell on Friday and Saturday. Huron, a radio and TV broadcast. TV only on Saturday as Spearfish will take on the Mitchell Colonels. Lead-Deadwood empty on that possession. Meanwhile, Corton, no good on the layup. And then picking the pocket of the Spearfish. Cherry picking, that is. I'm going to make sure my basketball lingo is good. And that is Cannon Rogers running the floor. So now both teams, you can definitely tell that both teams used a lot of energy in that first half because now both teams just seems sluggish as Rogers runs the floor, couldn't quite catch up with the lob thrown his way, and it'll be a turnover as now Ben Wichterman will exit the game. Bo Wichterman will replace him.
He got physical at a point there in that second quarter Then the last about 90 seconds of each quarter, Spearfish took advantage, and they were up by 2 points at the end of one. Then they were up by 8 at halftime. Then they were up by 18, and now they're up by 21.
There's Ashar Hodges with the little baby hook. His first 2 points of the night. It's now 64-43, a 21-point lead. Brady Ranapaugh three-pointer. That might have been partially blocked, or it didn't, and it was just short of everything, as Spearfish will take possession now. As Ethan Finn exits the game, Garrett Ranapaugh, the 6'2" sophomore guard for Lead-Deadwood, enters the game. So now just under 2 minutes left to go in the contest. Here's Haroon Khan with an elbow three, and it's good. The three-pointers went away for a little bit for Spearfish, but they didn't just necessarily disappear by any means. Haroon Khan hits another tray. See how many points he has in our KDSJ postgame show. That's coming up after the conclusion of this contest. In and out, three-pointer by Bo Wichterman. Rebound, Haroon Khan. Here's Southern crossing the timeline. Southern hasn't slowed down any. Thomas Hughes tries going a baseline, and he throws it out of bounds, intended for Haroon Khan. As you can definitely tell, both teams are starting to run out of steam here in the fourth quarter. It just seems like a lot of turnovers, and seems like both teams are just running the floor and trying to get fast break opportunities in transition. There really hasn't been very many offensive sets for both teams. So now Ethan Finn slows it down for Lead-Deadwood.
I didn't think that Lead-Deadwood was be able to hold up to the physicality of Spearfish there in that first half, as Stone gets the bucket for Lead-Deadwood, and then the depth, you bring in that for Spearfish. They go on a couple of runs. A three-pointer is made right there by Southern, and you find yourselves down by 25 points in the fourth quarter, 70-45. And as Lead-Deadwood usually averages about 66 points per game, well short of that. It was going to be a race to 70, I thought, and here we are. Now 70-47 as Bo Wichterman gets the shot to fall. He may be nearing in on 1,000 points in his career at Lead-Deadwood. He was going to have to average about 17 points per game in the second half of the season. Right now, he has 19 points tonight and just does his work kind of quietly. Always in the paint, blocking shots at the other end, but even him, he can run out of gas like the Golddiggers did tonight.
As now Spearfish will just look to run the rest of the clock out, already up to 70 points.
About a 3-second differential shot clock to game clock, so they'll either take a shot clock violation or heave one up.
As like we talked about right after halftime, the third quarter has not been friendly to Lead-Deadwood this season, and it was the same case here, as it was 33-25 at the end of the first half, and then it was three-pointers galore for Spearfish to blow this one wide open. Your final in lead, the Spearfish Spartans go 2 for 2 in basketball action tonight, as the Spearfish Spartans beat the Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers 70-47 tonight in lead.
And that is your Junix scoreboard. We'll have more of the scoreboards coming up at the post-game show, as well as our superior performer. We'll recap this game into our best with the stats. All coming up at the post-game show next, right here on KDSJ Sports.
Vehicles today are complicated and expensive. The professionals at Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Spearfish are here to guide you through everything automotive. From cars, trucks, and SUVs to parts and repairs, Junix takes the confusion out of automobile ownership. Enjoy the ride with Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Family owned since 1931 on West Jackson in Spearfish.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 70 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service to the Northern Hills and Northeast Wyoming. When you need timely, expert service for heating, cooling, or plumbing, call 605-642-5755 or search Wolf's Plumbing and Heating and stay in the comfort zone.
Fisher Sand and Gravel of Spearfish supports community and school athletics. Plus, they support community development with services in and around the Black Hills. Fisher is an aggregate company headquartered in Spearfish with 2 local commercial quarries in Beulah and Newcastle, Wyoming. They sell all sizes of aggregates for commercial and individual projects from a pickup load to thousands of tons. Whatever you need, Fisher Sand and Gravel, proud supporter of all community, college, and high school athletics. Good luck to all teams and athletes competing in today's game.
For nearly 50 years, Low Roofing Incorporated has been the trusted name in commercial roofing across western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming. Family owned and operated since 1975, they bring quality craftsmanship and reliable service to every project, big or small. From repairs to new installations, Low Roofing Incorporated covers it all. Protect your business with the experts who care and products that last. Call 1-800-658-4543. Low Roofing Incorporated, building a legacy of trust, one roof at a time.
This year.
I'm Cody Oliver back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth as we bring you high school hoops tonight. The girls game and the boys games both in the books, both won by Spearfish as they go on the road and pick up Black Hills Conference victories tonight. Earlier, the Spearfish girls won 70-11, and the final score just tells you the story. Let's see, 11 points from Callie Reiners was our superior performance in that game. We'll name our boys' superior performance coming up here in a couple minutes. Spearfish boys led this one 13-11 at the end of the first quarter. Then they outscored Lead-Deadwood 20-14 in the second quarter to go up 33-25 at halftime. Then that bad third quarter that the Golddiggers seemed to have, they got outscored 20-10. So Spearfish was up 53-35 at the end of 3. And in the fourth quarter, it was Spearfish outscoring Lead-Deadwood 17-12. So the Spartans outscored the Golddiggers in the second half 37-22 to put up 70 points tonight on their way to victory over Lead-Deadwood 70-47. And more on how the Spartans got it done, we'll send it back over to the Spartan Insider for KDSJ Sports. Here's Clayson Davis.
Yeah, it was really close at halftime as both teams were just kind of trading body blows as far as the game went. It was a very physical first half. The second half kind of got underway as the refs took control early to make sure that this game didn't get too physical and too out of hand. But Lead-Deadwood, they got to within, I believe, 6 points. It was about as close as they got in the second half. And that's when the dam pretty much broke for the 3-ball in Spearfish as they hit 12 3-pointers, I believe, in that third quarter, and that blew the game wide open for the Spartans as it was 53-35. And 20 points scored by Spearfish, 10 points scored by Lead-Deadwood in that third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, it was Lead-Deadwood continuing to having a lid on the bucket for them. Spearfish, they kept running the floor and getting points in the paint. Points in the paint was really dominated by Spearfish, aside from Bo Wichterman for Lead-Deadwood, and that was also a big key to the game for Spearfish. But again, that fourth quarter, both teams were running out of gas, especially for how fast and physical the first 3 quarters were. It was a lot of sloppy basketball, I'd say, a lot of turnovers and a lot of sloppy passes and with that. But both teams went at one another pretty much the entire game. And Spearfish had a few more threes. They got more offensive rebounds. They had more putback opportunities than Lead-Deadwood, as a lot of times Lead-Deadwood went one and done from their offensive sets, and Spearfish dominated the rebounds category in the second half. And again, those were just a few reasons why Spearfish pulled ahead in the second half and concluded this game with a 70-47 win over the Golddiggers.
Our KDSJ Winter Sports and Basketball coverage being brought to you in part by Olson Fuels. Also thanks to Olson Propane and Powder River Energy. As Spearfish led at 13-11 after one, they were up 33-25 at halftime, had the advantage 53-35 after three, and they win it by 23 points, 70-47. The Spartans had 9 guys get into the scoring column tonight, and 2 of them into double figures unofficially. 13 points from Cade Vavruska on a couple of three-pointers in there as well. 12 points from Bennett Corton tonight for Spearfish. Then it was 9 points from Cameron Davis, 8 points from Haroon Khan, 7 points apiece for Thomas Hughes and Cooper Gibbs, and then 5 points for Southern, 4 points from Hodges. And again, Dylan Doran did not play tonight as he had an illness, so hopefully he gets better for this upcoming road trip this weekend. Spartans made 8 three-pointers in the game, and they made 7 free throws. For Lead-Deadwood, their leading scorer, and a game high, 19 points from Bo Wichterman. He had 10 at halftime, had 9 more in the second half. 9 points coming from Ethan Finn, all on made three-pointers. 7 points from Cannon Rogers, and then 5 points from Enzo Stone, the freshman for the Golddiggers. 4 points for senior Ben Wichterman. 3 points from Brady Ranapon, a made three-pointer in the first half. So the Golddiggers hit 5 three-pointers on the night. They made 6 free throws, but couldn't keep up with the intensity, the physicality of the Spearfish Spartans, the depth as well. It was a block party at times in this game. We had some physical play for both teams. Nothing really got out of hand. There was no tease, but Spearfish, you could just tell the depth. And then when they started raining threes in that second half, Lead-Deadwood couldn't catch up, and it was 70-47 your final score on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, as Spearfish also won the girls' game tonight. Both teams putting up 70 points. The girls won earlier tonight 70-11 to go to 8-4 on the season, 5-1 in the Black Hills Conference. The Lead-Deadwood Golddiggers girls dropped to 2-13, 1-6 in conference play. We'll have our superior performance. Our player of the game is coming up next as we continue with the post-game show tonight, live from the Lead-Deadwood High School gym in our Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. We'll be back with more in 2 minutes.
For over 10 years, Allied Construction has been a trusted name in the Black Hills, providing top-quality construction services to our local community. We take pride in being a local business with deep roots in the area. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust us to deliver exceptional results on every project. Our team is dedicated to providing personalized service, ensuring your project gets the attention and expertise it deserves.
Check out their website today. Click alliedconstruction.com or find them on Facebook. It's not one, but 2 great locations in Spearfish to gas up and get what you need on the go. Exit 8 and Exit 14 Speedy Marts offer everything you need so you can get in and get out and get back on the road. Find your favorite snacks and a cold drink, or maybe something fresh from the kitchen or in the cold case. It's all homemade right here. And Exit 8 and Exit 14 offers top-tier fuels from Phillips 66, so you get the most from your transportation. Exit 8 and 14 Speedy Marts in Spearfish. Right off the road, right on the money.
Do-it-yourself made easy with help from Proline Equipment Rentals in Belle Fourche. Whether you're a full-fledged contractor or just taking care of some jobs around your home, Proline has the equipment you need. Lifts for any job, like scissor lifts, boom lifts, and man lifts, skid steers, trenchers, backhoes, and more. Step inside to find smaller tools for do-it-yourself projects like concrete work, painting, sewer repair, and more. Call 723-7677, click ProlineEquipmentRentals.com, or stop by off North Highway 85 in Belle Fourche today.
For over 20 years, there's been a better alternative for car repair in Spearfish and the Northern Black Hills. It's Auto Doctor, with their 2 ASC certified mechanics who each have over 40 years of experience and their state-of-the-art facility. They'll treat your vehicle like it's theirs. From mechanical repairs, brakes, alignments, tires, AC work, and more, Auto Doctor also provides advanced diagnostics. From Audis to Volkswagens, if your car is ill, we're the pill. Auto Doctor off Exit 14 Heritage Drive, Spearfish.
Thanks for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night in the Black Hills as we had Spearfish at Lead-Deadwood tonight for a doubleheader. Both programs we know a lot about. We had our Spartan Insider with us tonight, Clayson Davis over at KDSJ-TV. He'll be on the road out to Huron and Mitchell this weekend. As our post-game show continues, let's name our player of the game. It's the Superior Performance, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. And Superior Auto Solutions over in Spearfish. Call 605-642-9111 or see their inventory online at superioroutosd.com. Here's Clayson with tonight's player of the game.
And that is going to go to Cade Vavruska, the sophomore guard for Spearfish. He led the Spartans with 13 points in a 70-point effort. It was a team win overall for the Spartans, but Cade Vavruska led the way in scoring. He really did it all for Spearfish on the offensive and defensive boards. Hit a few threes, had a few layups as well, did a few assists. He got some rebounds, got some blocks. Really just did it all, loaded up the stat book for Spearfish. And for his efforts, Cade Vavruska is going to be awarded our Superior Performer of the game, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish.
And again, our coverage of high school hoops tonight being brought to you by West River Cooperative Telephone, also by Allied Construction, and by Superior Auto Solutions, as we just named our Superior Performance and our player of the game. Now it's time for the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard tonight, as we go through some of the games in progress and maybe some finals from across the state in Class AA, as well as some other area hoops on a night in the Black Hills Conference. We can send it back to Clayson Davis at KDSJ-TV.
Looking at some scores on the boys' side from tonight on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. It was St. Thomas More over Sturgis 43-40. Again, right here on KDSJ-TV and KDSJ Radio. Spearfish over Lead-Deadwood 70-57. Custer currently having their way with Douglas right now, 47-16 at halftime. Into boys basketball action. In Class AA, checking out some scores here. Sioux Falls Roosevelt, 2-point win over number 5 Huron, 60-58. Spearfish will see the number 5 ranked Tigers in Huron on Friday on KDSJ Radio and KDSJ TV. Number 2 Lincoln over Watertown, 76-50. It was number 5 Sioux Falls Washington over Brookings, 79-49. The Brookings Bobcats fall to 0-12 on the season. Number 3, Mitchell over Sioux Falls Jefferson, 66-49. It was Pierre, a 2-point win over Yankton, 49-47. And number 4, Harrisburg over Marshall, Minnesota, 71-62. In Class A basketball, we don't have anything that we already said. In Class, Rapid City Christian leading 38-24 over Mapaya Luta in Class A basketball. And in Class B, it was Timberlake over Dupree 54-52. Timberlake has came on strong here in the season. They're 9-5, and they just beat Dupree, who now drops to 11-4. New Underwood over Phillip tonight as well, 59-45. It was Kadoka area over Bennett County, 63-55. And I believe that is it on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard.
Again, the finals here, in case you missed it, it is Spearfish girls getting the sweep. The Spearfish girls winning 70-11, and the Spearfish boys winning 70-47 over Lead-Deadwood as the Class AA teams get the victories. They'll be heading east this weekend as they head to Huron on Friday and then play at Mitchell on Saturday. And both of those games on the road, both girls and boys heading out on the buses this weekend. Remember, if you missed any of the action, you can hear every game anytime. Just look for the podcast at KDSJ980.com. And for video archives and to view our live sports broadcasts, subscribe to KDSJ-TV on YouTube and follow KDSJ Radio on Facebook. And Clayson Davis going to be finishing up the night over there on KDSJ-TV.
Yep, I believe that will do it for KDSJ-TV. I'll start packing up things here. Thank you for joining us on YouTube and on Facebook Live. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a live sports broadcast of Lead-Deadwood or Spearfish Sports right here in the Northern Black Hills. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel at KDSJ-TV. We don't only have sports broadcasts, but we also have highlight videos of events that's happening around Spearfish. We have a bunch of highlight packages as well. And if you want to stay updated on everything when it comes to KDSJ Sports. A great place to do that is follow us on Facebook as well at Black Hills Gold Hits at KDSJ.
The Lead-Deadwood girls will be back in action this Thursday when they head to Dupree. The Lead-Deadwood boys will be back in action this Saturday when they head to Pine Ridge to take on the Red Cloud Lady Crusaders. Again, thanks to Clayson Davis over at KDSJ-TV. As we finish things up here on the radio side of things tonight, we want to say thanks again to the Auto Doctor, Beef Logic, and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council, and Dana Dental Arts, our family caring for your family. Our next sports broadcast comes your way Thursday night. It's going to be BHSU Hoops, and that will be coming up on Thursday from the DYC as the BHSU women and men host CSU Pueblo. Women take the floor at 5. Men will follow at 7 o'clock. Our MAC doubleheader from the Young Center right here on KDSJ Radio. Then Friday night, February the 7th, it's Spearfish girls and boys at Huron and the Huron Arena. That will be a doubleheader coming up on Friday night. That'll be on radio and TV. And then Saturday afternoon, let's see, I'll try to man the ship there on Saturday. This is going to be a struggle for me. We got BHSU women's and men at home against UCCS. That's University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. Women play at 1, men play at 3 on Saturday. And then over on TV only, it'll be Spearfish girls and boys at Mitchell at the Corn Palace as Clayson Davis and I believe a special guest, Paul James, will be out there from Eagle Country to cover the games over on KDSJ-TV. And, of course, check out our website for any changes on our sports broadcast schedule, KDSJ980.com. All of the archived interviews are there. You can find out scoreboards, rankings, and, of course, our social media on Facebook and KDSJ-TV. For the entire staff here and crew from the Lead-Deadwood High School gym, I'm Cody Oliver as it's a Spartan Black Hills Conference sweep tonight right here on KDSJ 980, as well as online at KDSJ980.com and with KDSJ